Well, it says we're live. So, welcome from the crossroads of America. A talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. I answer questions from the audience. Just put them in the chat or email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I got all the other information down there below in the info section. And I've lost my chat. So let me see if I can get it back. Okay, there it is. Let me pop that out. All right. Okay, back there. Okay, I'm back. I found the chat. Guns and Barbecues in there. How you doing? I sent you a link to join us if you wish. There he is. How you doing?
Good, yourself?
Not too bad. The camera's still on. There you go.
You got mail.
All right. So anyway, after this completely messed up start to the show here, because I'm all not many people here, so I'm not hurting much, I don't think. So. All right, who's come in? We got. I said the first in the room was Guns and Barbecue. Then Raphael's here. Jason Stewart's here. How you doing, everybody? I guess everybody's a beautiful day out there. Well, it is here in Indiana, and I would imagine, everybody down, especially Raphael, is down there with the rocket launch. So I guess, they're either there, they're out with the family doing whatever. If they've been released from their lockdown situation. I just didn't. If you're into having your liberties taken away, keep doing it. Southpaw's here. Okay, all right. I was hoping to hear from somebody. I don't know if we might come back to this one when we get more people in the room, or unless you guys have got. You guys might know all about it. The President Trump's executive order to do with the media. Is it really going to affect us here on YouTube? Our little gun world we're in. Is it going to make any difference to us? Is what I want to know.
Well, I thought it had to do with the ability to sue them if they blocked you because your politics didn't agree with theirs. I thought that was really what it comes down to. Now, you might say, well, I'm too small. I don't make enough money off my channel to afford a lawyer. Okay, that's good and fine. But there are plenty of channels out there that got the money. They probably already have a lawyer on retainer, or you could get several channels together and do maybe a class action lawsuit or something. I don't know, but I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, where I was thinking about it, I know they're starting to sue somebody, they block you, but how about when they demonetize everybody? Isn't that?
I don't think that that's. No, I don't think that. I'm no lawyer. I don't know, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. And if some people are like, well, I don't care about that, I just want my money, then what does that say about them? But there's people who's had their channels taken down. They've had their videos taken down. They've had their notifications turned off. They've had subscriptions taken away, stuff like that. And that's kind of the part where they're trying to censor people. Money, that's a separate issue, I would think. But I know there'll be some people out there that make it all about money, because if you listen, every third word they say on their videos and their live shows is about money. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I see what you're saying there. But some people got into YouTube, started their channels, because they were earning an income from the advertising that was hooked onto their channels. And that was taken away from them. That's how Patreon started. to make up for the loss in revenue. So, I don't know. I was just curious. So, New York Outlaws, New York Outcast.
How's it going?
All right.
Sorry.
Did you hear my original question?
No, I didn't. Sorry, I had to reset my phone. I was cutting grass, and it, for some reason, wouldn't let me link in. So,
okay. What it was, I was saying the executive order that President Trump signed, to do with the social media stuff. Is it going to affect us here in our little gun world community?
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know what he signed, so sorry. Can't really state at this point. I should, but I've been fairly busy lately. So, can you give me the gist of what it means?
Well, I mean, he's got. I see. That's exactly. I'm not exactly sure myself, but I believe he's taken the ability that people like the social media here, if they can't start censoring people like they are.
Okay. It'd kind of be nice if they didn't, in my opinion, but, obviously it falls back to a private company and whatnot, so I'm not sure where everything falls on that, but I'm not a fan of censorship anywhere, technically.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to kids, parents should have controls set up, and that's part of a parent's job. So they shouldn't be at a place that she could be a problem. But so I'm not a fan of censorship.
There was a law created, I think it was back in the 90s, when the internet kind of took off, or back in the early 2000s. I thought he said 25 years ago, which would put it back in the 90s. But the AG said that this law was put into place, or this, whatever it was, I guess it would be law or order or whatever it was, that allows them to, it's this big debate between whether or not they're a platform, in which case they have to allow everything, except for things like terrorism and child pornography. They have to allow everything, or if they're a business or something like that. I can't remember the names, but the guys that, go on and do their rants about this stuff, they know the terminology for it better. And what happened is the AG said that, and he's standing next to Trump while he's saying this, he said that over the years, this kind of went to the wayside, and they started saying, no, we're protected from anything that is on our platform. We're protected from what somebody posts on there, but we can also censor it. And the way the original law was written is like, no, you can't censor it, but you're protected. Or you can censor it, and now you're not protected. So he said that this is more or less steering it back into the right, the whole spirit of the law thing, what it was originally set up for, and it's trying to right the ship. And Trump was pointing out that on Twitter, he was showing printouts from the computer of Twitter of fake news that was out there. And he says this stuff has the ability to change people's, opinions during an election or something else like that. So but if you look, it's all one-sided. And he goes, that's what we're trying to take care of, is that you got to have both sides. You have to allow both sides. You can't censor one side and not censor the other, especially when the other side is lying. And he's pointing out stuff that is not fact at all, and that's allowed to go through. And if somebody wants to argue it, they don't get to have their say. So that's what it's all based on.
Yeah. Yeah. And
seems like a good thing.
Yeah, Raphael says the fairness doctrine. Jason Stewart said Trump said they are affecting the commerce of people. Also, channels like Dennis Prager, PragerU, some of his YouTube episodes, whatever he does, before it comes up, it has a thing in front of it that you have to click to watch it, because it says this stuff is misinformation. Who are they to decide what is misinformation and what isn't?
Right.
Yeah, I think. I think the media is honestly a big issue with modern culture, information, voting, everything, because everything is kind of one-sided or put to in a certain way. And I personally would, put some responsibility on the media for taking that role instead of just reporting the facts and letting you make the decision.
But basically what's happening is these big media, YouTube, Google, Instagram, they're all the same company, right?
Some of it to some point. But some of it has to do with the protections that they have.
Yeah.
If they censor stuff, they're not protected. So as a private business doing what they want, okay, great. But now you have whatever it is that you're not protected from, right? And then you go, no, we want protection. Okay, then you can't use the we're a private business thing. Now, I think the simple thing for YouTube to do to get, to have their cake and eat it too, is to charge for YouTube. Charge to watch it, charge to use it. Now, there are people out there losing their mind going, I can't pay that. I'm not saying charge what cable charges, but if they charged for it, I think that would probably get them where they're going, well, now we're a business and we can do what we want. But if they do that, then that may get some of these other platforms to go, we're going to allow anything as long as it's not breaking the law, and we're not going to charge. And then there'll be that capitalist kind of, you've got an alternative thing. Right now, the other platforms that are out there are just so small, or they're so mismanaged, and they can't compete against YouTube. So they're going to have to put YouTube in a position where somebody can find a way to compete with them. And he talked more about Twitter than YouTube, really.
Yeah, YouTube, Twitter, Google, Instagram, those kind of things. They're the main biggies in this thing. And they're the ones causing the most trouble. And you got to think their own, which I find very strange for being, a free market and everything else, that they're those multimillionaires who have made billions and billions of dollars out of the internet and their platforms are Democrats, left-leaning. I find it very weird, but because you always hear the Democrats say, well, the Republicans, all they do is take care of the rich. But some of the richest people are Democrats.
Well, something that the AG and the president both said that I thought was odd was they said that there's a lot of Democrats on Capitol Hill that support this. And I'm like, wow, really? So they're supporting something that is going to take away their monopoly? That doesn't sound right, but they both said it. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't either, but I hope something comes of it. You got any input on that, Guns and Barbecue?
Honestly, Squib said pretty much everything I was going to say. Everything that I've heard about it, he pretty much took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. Hey, Black Cat Outdoors, if you want to come on, send me an email, and I'll send you a link, because I don't have your email in front of me right now. So just saying that to the guy out there in the audience. So anyway, who else has joined us while we're even talking? Southpaw, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Cat, Vanessa, Mystic Guns. So they're yeah. Oh, Jason Stewart said Dems own the media, Republicans own hotels and casinos. Yeah, it seems like that.
I knew there was a reason I like hotels and casinos so much.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, that is as I said, I don't know how it's going to affect us, the little guys here on the gun. Because I don't believe. I was watching. I didn't get all into it too far because Clover Tech had his show the other night, and he doesn't believe that it's shadow banning that's happening to people in the gun community. It's bad. It's bad. You're not doing your job, with your tags and all this kind of stuff.
Hasn't he been banned multiple times by YouTube?
Hey,
I'm not trying to. Here's the thing. He's the guy that a lot of us go to with these questions about this stuff. He pretty much holds classrooms on it, but he's been shut down by the same people that he defends constantly. Now that's his right. That's his prerogative. I've never actually called him and said, "Hey, dude, why do you defend him?" I'm not sure, so I don't want to put words in his mouth. But I mean, he is the guy that a lot of people go to when they go, "Hey, what does this mean?" or "What's going to happen here?" So I get it, but I don't know. I think it's how big your channel is. Sometimes, if you're a real big channel, you're getting a lot of attention. I think you run a bigger risk than a small channel that can fly under the radar.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was hoping he might be here today because he's joined us a few times. You know, he's on my mailing list from once he was a small guy. I've never taken him off. You know,
he's got to be right to an extent. I would say, you know, like with anything, you know, some people have no clue what they're doing. You know, example, I'd basically be one of them. So, but you know, I think some people could advertise their channel better or do different things or whatever if they're looking for subscriptions, but they maybe don't know how or are misinformed on it. So I would say there is probably a small percentage that would definitely fall to that group. Whether it's enough to make the whole swing or something, I doubt, but definitely there's some credit to it.
Yeah. But if you're trying to make money out of this, right?
You're crazy.
Well, not only that, but it's a lot of work now, the way everything's...
Well, okay, and you know what, Rick? There's a lot of people who bellyache over that. Oh, I want it to be easy, and I want to... It's just like starting up your own business or being self-employed. It really is. And if you've already got a full-time job and then you do this and you're trying to make it work, kudos on you, because you're pretty much running two businesses at once or whatever you want to call it, right? You're clocking in at work all day, and then you're going to run your store at night. But that's what it is. It's work, and you may not succeed. Oh, you know, big surprise there. How many small businesses don't succeed? How many people have had multiple businesses before they get one? That's all this is. But you hear people bellyache constantly. And for some of them, they're living other people's dreams. Other people would love to have the shows and the audience and get invited to these events and get all this sponsorship and all this. And they go, well, it's not that easy. No, it isn't that easy. For some people, it's been pure luck. And other people, it might just be other things that I'm not even going to say what gets them attention quickly. But that's just the way it is. It's no different than you and I starting a store that sells the same product across the street from each other. That's all it really is. The bellyache just gets to be too much sometimes.
Guns and barbecue, we can't. You're making a lot of noise there. We can't even hear a word you're saying. Just wanted to let you know. Ozzy Osbourne says,
reverb, sorry.
You're having microphone problems. So Ozzy Osbourne says Trump is forcing Twitter to pick their dish instead of having their cake and eat it too. It's basically what it's all about. You know?
It's one or the other, guys.
Yeah. So, all right. Moving on. My next little topic that I said there was WTF, new normal. You know, I don't want a new normal. I want normal. What's this new normal? We all get along. We're all in this together.
Hey, Rick. Rick.
What?
Rick, it's not about you.
Yeah, it's not about you. Yeah,
it's not about you.
It is about
Nobody likes change.
Well, nobody likes change. You're right.
No, it ain't about not liking change. It's like, okay, explain to me why this new normal needs to even be here. I can understand change for the better. Change with the times, change for the better, okay? But then there's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it wasn't broke, and then you broke it. You know, everything was going fine.
Yeah. They brought this on themselves in this mass panic of believing that everybody was going to die. You know?
Yeah, I think going fine's a stretch. I think it was going fine for certain groups of people, but not the general public, in my opinion. Not stating this is a good thing or anything, but we could use a reset on some things. So
yeah, like the new normal.
And we could use people to wake up.
The new normal's not a reset, though, Rob.
New normal.
Well, I'm not saying it is. I mean, I'm just stating in general. That's a different story. I guess. The new normal is, people got to adapt to what's available. If you can't find something, you got to find other ways. You can't be stuck in one mode your whole life. I don't know.
What do you think?
That's not what the new normal's about.
You think not hugging your relatives, not handshaking, is the new normal now? Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Well, that's all falls down to an individual level. For some people, it's not. There'll be hell benefit ever is. For other people, they take that extra step. So that's all on an individual level.
I was never
think part of it,
but I do like handshaking. But I'm just saying this sort of thing. You don't handshake anymore. You do the elbow thing. Fuck you.
Kingpin, get that soundbite. What's the timestamp right now?
That was good.
But I apologize for language, but this gets me.
No, don't apologize. It's a sign of weakness.
So you're right. Change. The only thing constant in this world is change. Everything changes all the time.
Pretty much.
But going this new norm, no, there's no need for a new norm. Just
because it's presented to you doesn't mean you have to accept it. If you're in the hugging and you're in the handshaking, carry on doing it. There's no need to stop just because they say you're going to die. So
I don't think it's something that's going to last either. Eventually, I think we're going to fall back into our old ways and things like that.
So.
But with this being so fresh in everybody's heads and all the different propaganda being spewed about it, first they're telling us don't wear masks, they ain't going to save you or anything else. And all they were trying to do is have a surplus for the medical field, which is understandable. They should have just been honest about it from the get-go.
Yeah.
Then they're saying, oh, you better wear masks, and you can't go anywhere without a mask, and, stay 6 feet away from each other. Then it's 13 feet away. And there's so much misinformation, and people cling to it because they're sheeple. They don't think for themselves, and, you go to the store, and you can actually watch people get into fights because you're too close to me. Really? You're both wearing a mask. Grow up. And even still, it's going to get to the point where I think, you know what? If you want to go out and you're that worried, then wear a mask. That's your choice. But don't expect other people to do it. I think with the way a lot of people are, eventually the masks, people are going to lose them and forget them, and it's just kind of going to fall by the wayside. And people are going to go back to shaking hands and tugging each other, all that good stuff. But it's going to be a slow trickle to get back there.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said they should have been honest with us from the get-go.
Oh,
there were things that a lot of stuff coming out after the fact, way after the fact. Why are we doing this? We'll tell you 3 weeks after we do it. No, tell us now.
That's government, and a perfect example that I hope people actually see now. I mean, to me, it was great to hear Guns and Barbecue there mention that, they basically told the public that so they could have a surplus. So, what we're told, the CDC and all this stuff is all what they want us to know. So, I mean, you got to take all this with a grain of salt. Everybody's got their own information and everybody's not right. They may be close, but nobody's, we're not getting true information. So,
okay. Hang on. Night Strike put up his hand. He wants to speak.
Put up your hand. Just jump in there, man.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna be nice. But all I have to say is, Rick, I'm finally glad you're coming out of your shell. Finally glad to see that. I heard that earlier.
Tell them to
Don't
be
worry,
safe,
Squib.
Squib.
Squib, I got the time mark. I'm gonna make the video. I'm gonna make the clip. I'll send it to you,
I
Squib.
was really hoping you were going to tell him to stay safe, Rick. Stay safe.
Oh yeah, stay safe. The new normal. Screw it all.
But
You know?
I agree with Squib on the soundbite, and I agree with Rick on the FU, because quite honestly, you know, the new normal bullshit, it really irks me too. Why can't we just go back to being normal? Why does it have to be new?
Yeah.
You know, new is saying that we need to change things. No, we don't need to change things. We just need to stop playing into fear. It's pissing me off that every time something fearful happens, we always have to play into that fear, and then we can't do anything different or be normal. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Reality falls back to perception a little bit, so you don't have to accept this in a sense. And in a way, it could be switched to a positive, because at least, you know, in my opinion, the normal wasn't a good setup. So if we could be more self-sufficient, more self-reliant, people are more, you know.
Well, Rob, if I ever meet Squid, I'm going to shake his hand. And if people don't like that, well, they can stick it where the sun don't shine.
See, New York Outcast, I used to think like you when I lived behind enemy lines. You know?
Now
I'm out here in the freedom world. You know,
can make something good out of anything bad. Not that we should, but
Indiana right now is. I mean, yeah, they've got the certain restrictions on how many people can go in a restaurant and stuff, but things are getting right back to normal. You know, but up there,
we got no restrictions here now. They lifted everything in South Carolina.
Up there in New York, you're still under panic mode. You know. The panic is over.
I get what you're saying, but I think my point is those people that are free now, those people that are doing what they're doing, is it really normal, or do they have lessons learned in their mind from this, from the government?
Oh no, I think most people. I think most people will go back to being unprepared slobs. No, if you're hoping that this is going to, yeah, if you're hoping that this is going to, well, this has the potential to, like you said, turn a bad thing into a good thing by getting people to wake up and do more critical thinking and be more self-sufficient, and for more things to be made in America, and more preparations for any sort of catastrophe or disaster or situation. But more than likely, we're all just going to go back to doing the same old thing. Most people are going to be, there'll be a few new gun people, there'll be a few new preppers. You know, maybe a few medical facilities will be a little bit more prepared. Maybe a few government agencies will get a little fatter. But overall, I think most people will go back to being slobs. And, hey, that's their choice. Don't come knocking on my door when you run out of food.
Honestly, I'm curious if the medical facilities make a change or not to be more prepared.
Some,
just because
not most.
It's all about profit.
Yeah. You got to wonder, what's going to happen to all these surplus ventilators? Are they all going to end up in a junkyard somewhere? Wouldn't that be something to see on whatever, some sort of news magazine in 6 months or a year or 5 years? This junkyard somewhere with all these ventilators piled up everywhere.
Yeah. Well, right now, what did the vice president say, or the president? There's about 17,000 of them stockpiled now in the government stockpile, and they got 50,000 coming by July from those car companies who switched over. What are they going to do with them all?
This ain't over yet.
You know,
they're really expecting the second wave of this to happen this fall.
To a ventilator. I'm not letting anybody hook me to that bullshit.
I'm not saying it's going to 100% be needed, but just saying it ain't over yet.
I mean, like your dictator. I need 40,000 ventilators. He used about 7,000. You know,
which dictator, his or mine? Because we both have dictators.
New York.
Well, I'm not a fan of Cuomo in any way, to be honest.
The one whose brother is Fredo.
Yeah.
Well, still there, Rick. Say if you're saying that there's an issue with them having 40,000 and only using 7,000, that'd be like a prepper saying, "Well, I've got enough food." Can you guys hear me? I had a call come in for some reason.
Yeah, keep going.
It's all good.
All right, so that'd be like a prepper saying, "Well, I've got enough food to last me the next 2 years if something happens." And then this happens. They're like, "Oh, I only had to use 3 months of it." Well, it's good to be prepared still, right?
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Government Como, he was running his fear monger. Oh my God, I'm going to need 40,000 ventilators, and the government's not helping me. Wah. So President Trump sent him a bunch, and he used 7,000.
Initially, what we were told was supposed to be a lot worse. So I would stay.
Hey, I've got to run. I'll be right back.
It was a lot worse compared to some goddamn university left winger who knows shit about what real life's like.
Yeah, obviously it's not how it came out, but if you're expecting a certain amount of whatever, then you try to prepare for that. So it does make sense, but obviously that wasn't the case. So
they even had that hospital built up in that civic center. They had the ship sent to them. Didn't even goddamn use any of it. Problem is your guy cried wolf, and next time he cries it, I don't think they're going to come running to him. Well, hopefully you guys got more sense and you vote him out when his next elections comes around.
Don't count on it.
No, I don't either. I
don't think that's a legitimate vote. I don't think it would be that case now. So
yeah,
honestly, I don't know anybody that votes for Cuomo. So, or at least they'll state they don't. So a lot of people don't like Cuomo.
And what's going on?
I don't know how he wins.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I know they're trying to do their thing, but that goddamn little short gray-haired son of a bitch on that Dr. Fernaccio, of whatever his name is,
Fauci?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he flip-flops more. He changes his opinion more than he changes my socks.
They're all government spokesmen.
I got this. He changes his opinion and his thoughts more than a Democrat does.
Yes, he does. Midnight Range later on. You're leaving Midnight Range? Why? I know you ain't working, are you? You ain't back at work at the old Waffle House. They're not back open yet, are they?
Maybe he has to go flip some burgers or fry some fries. We don't know.
No, I don't know.
They are still doing takeout over where he is at, so he's still.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're still doing takeout.
Also, being a parent of a young child takes some time.
Yeah. It's been many, many years since I had to do that, so sometimes I forget.
Yeah, you don't get the clock out. If you're lucky, you get the leave to go to work.
I said I'm here all alone. I have my my disability coming in. I can get up when I want, go to bed when I want, eat what I want, sit around the house and whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of nice, really. I don't know if I ever get just slight off topic. I'm not sure if I would ever get into another relationship or rephrase that, move in with somebody else. Because I think I'm getting too set in my ways now. I don't want to be told I can't do that. You got that. Put that back. That isn't where you found it, So this kind of, anyway, let's get back on topic. Talking about, I know it's not topic, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. My youngest son texted me yesterday. He's the one who's studying to be a doctor up in Kansas City. He texted me yesterday. He goes, he said, last time I saw you down in Florida, he goes, when we went shooting, he said, you let me shoot your firearm. What was it? So I told him what it was. It was an M&P, it was an M&P 45. He goes, oh, okay. He goes, he said his friend is looking at guns. I said, what about you? He said, well, I'm going with him. So, I don't know. My younger son might be starting to.
He might have gotten the bug.
Yeah.
One step closer.
You know, Smith and Wesson M&P will do that to you.
Yeah. So I'm hoping he does. I mean, he's his girlfriend. I don't know if he's ever going to marry her, but they're having a baby in August. You know, I said to him, with what's going on around the country today, I said, not only is getting a firearm, going shooting and stuff. I said it's not only a great hobby sport to get into, but I said you can also protect yourself at the same time. You know.
Yeah.
I
obviously don't say this to people that aren't in the firearms or whatever, but it's almost neglectful to your loved ones or family members to assume you can just count on somebody else. When minutes count. So I think that's a little ridiculous. So nobody wants to be in that position, but if you ever are, wouldn't you want the best options available to you? The best tools. Just
Well, when you have seconds to react, the cops are minutes away, and it's not their job to protect you. It's only their job to clean up after everyone's done.
And even if it was, they're not there. There's way more people than there are police. You know what I mean? So I just don't see.
They can't be everywhere
I
at
wish
once.
we lived in a world where everybody was great and we didn't need jails and prisons and stuff. But unfortunately, that's not the reality.
Nope.
In a world where we didn't need jails and prisons, there's New York Outcasts.
Squib could be a shoo-in for the new movie guy.
No, I've got a video coming out with my really bad wrestling announcer voice, so I expect to get some pushback on that one. But why not? Take a little fun at myself.
Hammocks, some mixed drinks, and some of those hula skirts, and we're good.
I still got to find some of those umbrella toothpicks, the umbrella cocktail toothpicks. Because Patriot keeps talking about this drink called a Pink Lady, and I'm just going to have to figure out how to make one. So I'm sure there's got to have one of those umbrellas in there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, was he sure it's pink?
Well, that's true. I mean, the name could be a misnomer. Seeing how I don't even know what the drink is, I haven't even Googled it. But one of these days,
you can get them at Party City.
I've still got some beer reviews, and I've got one or two more rum videos, and I've got two more reviews on those bullets, those stainless steel bullets, and some other ones that are sitting there ready to be published. But I just didn't want to publish, 6 or 7 of them in a row that I've been doing since last year, because then somebody would be like, "Is that all you ever do is drink?" It's like, no, I'm having too much fun with the COVID videos, actually.
Well, the rum's by my request, folks. I've been bugging them for the rum one. So
now the last one I did was
he's taking that one for the team.
Yeah, well, actually, the Rumarita one that I did, both just making a Rumarita or using the margarita mix with rum to make one. We substituted rum for tequila, because we're just not tequila people. So there are some things that you can do with rum where, when Rob and I were talking, he was asking me, and I'm rum and Coke. That's about it. So doing a little research, come to find out, you can have a little fun mixing some of this stuff up, using it as a substitute.
I'm Dennis Prager.
Yeah. I mean, what's called? I like those videos you're doing on the old mixers. So
they're fun to make.
Yeah,
it's like the coffee videos. They're kind of fun. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, your coffee videos I find funny after watching Travis do his and watching you do yours.
Yeah, and it's like, here's the professional one and here's the hack.
Yeah. I mean,
got it. Got a question.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Rick. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go on.
I was just going to say, could be a topic now that it seems relevant, but, disabled people finding themselves in a riot. What do you do there?
That is a good point. That's a good point. That
There's pros, cons, things you should have, things you should try to do. I mean, what if you got to go to a I don't know, your foot doctor, and you get down there, and the next thing you know, the street's covered. I don't know.
That's why I think there should be an
next
exemption.
to a Target.
If you're disabled, there needs to be an exemption, and you need to be able to just get a cane gun. None of that NFA crap or any of that other stuff.
Awesome.
Oh, I agree with
gun.
So I agree with you there, but I don't know. It's kind of scary what's going on in the country, especially in the big cities. But I mean, what I'm finding hard to understand is why the destruction, and they're looting and setting things on fire. What is that accomplishing?
It's not about accomplishing anything. It's about people wanting to burn everything down and steal things. That's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all rioters do. They're looting and burning things. They're trying to spread chaos and destruction. There's no other accomplishment they're trying to accomplish.
Well, they're people, and people will find any excuse to justify things they want to do. So there's obviously good elements, bad elements. There's some people that are, trying to be respectful, and others that aren't. But there's good and bad in every group. So I don't agree with the buildings and things like that. As far as that, take your grievance on, take it out on the spot you're concerned with. But burning down the whole neighborhood seems pretty ridiculous to me. So, and threatening to head into residential areas. So I wish them good luck with that one, because I don't think it's going to happen. Well, I don't wish them good luck, but I wish the residents good luck. Hopefully they've all stocked up, but definitely ridiculous in my opinion. So it is going to raise a lot of attention, and some people would argue, well, would you get this much attention if they were just focused on the police stations? And that's debatable, but at least you could have public support. But I think they lost a lot as soon as it turned into be pure chaos. So, but my opinion,
I think the fact
on a good day, people are just itching to do something they can get away with. So not everybody, but I think there's a lot of people out there where if there wasn't checks and bounds, it'd be a whole different world.
Every time they have a situation like this, whether the initial evidence was poorly presented and what we thought we saw or heard wasn't what really happened, or whether or not the law enforcement people involved were scumbags and tried to cover it up and really did commit a crime, and if they're people just like us, they need to pay the price just like us. It doesn't matter. That's something that needs to be investigated, and we need to go through the whole due process thing. Well, they burned down the city, and what do? They decide they're going to go ahead and arrest these guys and prosecute them and all this other stuff, and all they did was just tell them, hey, from here on out, if you want swift justice, burn the city down. There's going to be more riots in the future, because I'm not saying that if you just did the same old and followed procedure, that would stop riots, but they just encourage more rioting in the future if people don't think the government is acting fast enough. I mean, I understand that, it seems like when a cop does something, they get paid administrative leave and it takes time, and the union pays for their lawyer, and they get away with a lot of stuff. They might lose their job, but they don't go to jail. And I'm not saying that's necessarily right. Whereas if you or I, if they think you or I did something, we're getting tased, slammed to the ground, booked, having our property taken, all this other stuff. And it's up to us to come up with a lawyer and fight in court. And, and so I don't like the lack of fairness there. But I think that by getting on TV and trying to, I guess, appeal to the people that are burning down the city by doing what they're saying, which is swift justice, you're encouraging more behavior like this, and you're not addressing the fact that there is that thin blue line that doesn't need to be there. It really doesn't need to be there at all.
Just something I want to throw out there.
Yeah.
There is a possibility we're getting played. There is reports of certain people starting to break the windows and things like that didn't get chased down or anything like that. There's questions to it, and with everything else going on, not to be the tinfoil hat guy, but I guess I am. What's to say this isn't all scripted? This isn't all planned out. Who would benefit? The government would get more control, right? It would be justifiable to go around and try to scoop up arms in certain areas and all this in their minds. So, who knows? That's all I'm saying. It's something to think about.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. It could be that, because as I've been saying since this thing started, was once you give somebody power, they don't like giving it up. And they can find ways to keep it. I mean, was it Minnesota? Was it in Minnesota where they shot the TV announcer with the rubber bullets? I believe. I think it was in Minnesota.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah, one of the commentators who was out at one of those things, they got shot with a rubber bullet. So it's mad out there. Then I was watching it late last night. I can't remember what I was watching, but I was watching something on that I had pre-recorded. It ended, so when it flipped back to regular TV, it happened to be on the Fox News channel, and it was I think it was Hannity was on. It was just coming to the end, but they had the riots. I mean, there in Minnesota, it was 10 o'clock at night, so it'd be 9 o'clock their time, because I think they're an hour behind, whatever. And they got fires going. There wasn't a policeman, a fire truck, or nothing anywhere. It's like they all stood down and just let the place burn.
And how much resources is this going to take up? How much expense moving people around, equipment, trying to, calm things down, trying to rebuild things under the circumstances we're in right now.
Well,
how much more stress does that add to everything? How much is it going
to cost to clean up the mess that's left?
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen when the people get the bill?
Oh yeah, their taxes are going up to pay for it all. So there you go. I don't have an answer for it, but I don't see rioting and looting. I agree with protesting. Everybody has a right to protest, but the looting and rioting, to me, you lost. I mean, to me, you've lost your argument as soon as you do that. I mean, it's like if you get into an argument with somebody and you start swearing at them, even if you're right, you've lost. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of, I feel it's that kind of thing with this. Once you start rioting and looting, your protest is out the window. You're protesting because you want quick justice. Well, how about you turning those people in that are destroying those cars, destroying those stores? Why don't you turn them into the cops and let us get swift justice on them? You ain't going to do it. So what I'm saying, so your protest is out the fucking window. Excuse my language. So that's the way I feel about it anyway. Very slow day today, guys, by the looks of it, even in the chat. So, oh well, but it's a beautiful day out there. Hey, did the rocket get launched? Does anybody know?
Yeah, apparently they made it into orbit.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yep.
They get off on time?
Apparently.
Well, from what I understand, they have to. If they set a particular time, because it's all got to do with
the weather.
Not only the weather, but also because they're going to hook up with the satellite, right? The international, right. And so it's a matter of taking off.
Space station.
They're lined up to meet it as it comes around orbit, So that's what I read anyway. But I do read a lot of useless information, Oh, my quiz. for last week. Let me get that out of the way while we're having a quiet spell here. What I asked was, in the film John Wick 3, I wanted to know what Winston offered John Wick a weapon in the executive lounge. And I want to know what it was. It was a sort of like it was a real flashy pimp Colt 1903 pocket hammerless is what it was. So it was a Colt 1903 pocket hammerless that he offered him. And I only had 3 entries. That was it, just 3. So I didn't think it was that hard, to be honest with you, but must have been.
It wasn't. People just didn't want to join.
That's what I figured it was, you know. But all right, so everybody's got it. So the 3 people have got a 33 and a third chance of winning. So let me hit my draw now button. There we go. Is a Jay Monty. He's a new subscriber too. So congratulations. Jay Monty. Let me write that down so I can make sure. I have to get his. If he's out there, I don't know if he's out there in the chat right now, but if you are, I need your mailing address. If you email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com with that, I would appreciate it. So, all right, now for this.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations on that. And for the upcoming one, for this coming Saturday's swag pack, is what I want. Now, this one should be easy. I want to know what. Now, I'm not saying this is true, but this is what I read, and this is what I'm using for my answer. It's to do with the Battle of the Little Bighorn. You know, good old General George Custer. I want to know what firearm he was carrying into that battle. And it was a pair of them, actually. And he gave one to his brother. So I want to know what weapon it was. That's it. And you email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. And we are get it into me by noon next Saturday, and you'll be in a chance for the swag pack. So there we go. You know. All right, you guys got anything else you want to talk about? Talk to me, people. Man, we might as well wind this up then.
Nothing off the top of my head in a sense. I mean, yeah, I think the whole riot thing probably go on a while, but how far do you want to beat on that?
Oh, yeah, true.
How's the new birdie going? You end up taking that out? How'd that?
I went. Was it yesterday or Thursday morning? I went. I fired about 20 rounds through it. And I used all my own reloads. Every one of them worked perfectly. You know, but I'm still having trouble sighting that damn gun. I keep missing low. Out of 20 shots, I might have hit the target 10 times. So I'm very disappointed with myself. I mean, I'm glad I'm not in the Old West because I would have lost the gunfight. You know, because I couldn't hit my target. So,
you know,
there we go.
Rick, speaking of General Custer, why don't we discuss the guns he declined to bring with him that could have saved him? You know what guns those were?
No.
He was offered 2 Gatling guns to bring with him, and he declined because they were too heavy for the horses.
Yeah, well.
And guess what? If he had brought 2 Gatling guns, he wouldn't have died.
Well, yeah, he would have because he charged when he shouldn't have. You know?
No, he wouldn't have need to have charged if he had 2 Gatling guns. You just set them up at 2 points, and you can just literally mow everybody down.
Yeah,
that was.
The situation was that the Indians had the advantage because of rate of fire. So if your counterpoint is to say that, well, the Gatling gun's rate of fire would counter that, I could see that. I haven't ever seen one of those old ones in use. How far down can you depress it when it's on that carriage? Because they were up high, right? And the Indians were coming up the sides of the hills and whatnot. If they couldn't point those things down and pivot them, they might not have been effective. But if they could, and they could traverse them enough, that could have made the difference. Because it was, sometimes it's not always rate of fire that wins, but on that day it was. Because of the weapons that the Union or the U.S. Army had, they were longer distance and more powerful, but they were a slower rate of fire. And when the Indians got up close, they could use their weapons that didn't have as much oomph and didn't have the range, but because they had repeaters, they used that to their advantage.
Yeah. There you go. There's your history lesson. All right. I'm going to wind this up early. Then the cats will get fed on time, and I can go. I haven't even decided what I'm having to eat yet. It's a hard choice. It's either going to be burgers or bratwurst. I ain't decided which yet.
I think we're going to have burgers tonight. I'm going to make sure I put some American cheese on mine.
Go for it.
You ever considered a chicken salad? You like anything like that?
Oh yeah, but I don't have
grill the chicken.
I don't have the salad here.
Yeah. Maybe a little bacon in there.
I'm not driving 30 minutes to the store and 30 minutes back.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you're always eating certain things. So
I eat. Well, as I said,
to experiment a little bit, switch things up.
I'm setting my ways. I do eat salad. Normally, when I go, normally when I go,
after so long, your taste does change and evolve. So I'd say give things a try. Don't be stuck, because if you're stuck in your ways and you're trying to lose weight, it's probably not going to work out for you. You gotta be able to flex a little.
Stuff. When I go shopping, I do buy salad stuff. When I go to the big town, the little local store doesn't sell produce. Because it's a dollar store, but it's a 30-minute drive to the big store, 30-minute drive each way. And when I go, I do buy salad stuff,
Rob, that does sound like a good idea, though. I think we're going to put that on the menu for this Wednesday. Thanks.
Yeah, we had chicken, cheese, black olives, all types of stuff. The sliced tomatoes in there. Yeah, I like mine with the homemade Italian dressing. That's good stuff.
We could cube some cheese, maybe fry up some bacon, and throw that in there too. Might even hard boil an egg, chop that up, put it in there, and
it sounds good. I do stuff like that. I take salads and add stuff to them and all that when I do them. I just don't talk about it.
You should eat some vegetables or salad. Technically, some salads, greens, because the way the digestive system works. So obviously, the more stuff you retain is the more crap that makes you poison and everything else. It makes you feel bad, dehydrated. Your body, you got to flush your body through, man. A little bit of greens every night builds up gas. It's out, not a problem. Keep yourself regular. Health is the number one thing. People look it over. Everybody's, got 500 guns and this and that, but they can't make it around the block. You gotta focus.
Well,
you know what I mean? You gotta focus.
A lot of people don't need a balanced diet because they don't like vegetables or something like that.
True.
There are ways to cook vegetables into the things you like. Well, there's ways to put them in things you can saute them. You can do all kinds of things that aren't necessarily going to cause the minerals or anything healthy in there, vitamins and whatnot, to leave the vegetables and give it some flavor or mix it in with something you like. And it's as simple as celery and peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I need to start doing. That's what I buy salad stuff, but I need to start buying, I love eating celery, just wash it, clean it. And
it's a great snack.
And chomp on it. I like that. I like What's the other thing I like? There was something else I was going to mention that I want to.
Coleslaw?
I like coleslaw, but
baby carrots, a lot
carrots.
better to chew on those than chips.
I like eating raw carrots. I don't like cooked carrots, but I'll eat carrots raw. You know,
carrots are a good bang for your buck too, because you go to the store, they're always cheap. They tend to last a while in the fridge. I mean, it's crunchy, you know, so it's a snacky kind of food. Yeah. And then you can just dip it in a whole bowl of ranch dressing and to hell with the calories. Oh wait, no, that's not good.
Another thing I like doing is making cucumber sandwiches. So there you go.
You season the cucumbers?
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. That's it. How about a little mayonnaise?
No. See, when I take the either I use bread, or if I'm using sort of like a hard roll or something, or whatever, I put lightly buttered. I mean lightly, and have the sliced cucumber on there, a bit of salt and pepper. Oh man, good old British.
We do it.
Cucumber sandwich. You know.
We do a thing called cucumber salad that everybody seems to love. It's diced cucumbers, Italian dressing, pepperoni, celery, scallions, tomatoes, cheese, and basically whatever you want to throw in it. And it's like a soup in there, and then you just pop it out in a bowl. Like we just had some the other day, and that stuff is gone. You know, people got 2 servings and came back the next day, and I couldn't even find it. So
I like doing sliced cucumber and onions with vinegar. You know, I like that. I like doing that too. Making a bowl of that and keep it in the fridge and munch on that every now and then. It's pretty good. So, all right. So there we go.
Oh, one more question. I think I might have already asked you this one. Do you like malt on your fries?
Malt vinegar?
Yeah, malt vinegar on your. I might have already asked you this one. I can't.
Yeah, remember. I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I will eat mine like that sometimes.
All right.
Yeah, because it goes back to eating fish and chips. You use malt vinegar. So I was brought up with malt vinegar.
You put it on both or just the chips?
you put it on what? You put it on the fish and chips
too? You put it on the fish too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, actually, I even to this day, I'm glad you mentioned that. I got to add that to my shopping list for next week. I've run out of malt vinegar because not only do I use it on my French fries or my chips, is every now and then I'll take a shot glass and drink some straight. I just love the taste of it.
Is it medicinal or
no? I don't think so. But I just like the taste of it. So I ever since I was a little kid, I've always drank it like that. I don't know if it's weird or not. I used to get in trouble because my mother would catch me, drinking straight out of the bottle. And of course, then she'd have to, get rid of it and buy a new one because I had slobber all over it, So, I mean, I learned to sip it into a glass. She got so mad at me, she said, if you're going to do it, you should at least pour it into a glass, So that's what I got me a little shot glass, and that's what I use. I don't do it every day, and I don't do it all the time, but every now and then I'll just get one and down it. I don't know.
All right, I might try this then. A shot of malt. Maybe I should do a cocktails with squib. A shot of malt. It's not alcoholic though.
No, it's
You're
not.
Talking malt vinegar.
Yeah, malt vinegar.
If you're gonna do a shot of vinegar, do a shot of the mother's vinegar. That's actually beneficial in a lot of ways.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Thing like Moo says he does the same thing. With malt vinegar. Malt vinegar is I don't.
That explains a lot about 2 Live Moo.
I don't know if it's good for you or not, but I love the taste of malt vinegar. When it bites the back of your throat as you're swallowing it. Oh man. Gives you that shiver, as it's going down. So
Oh, now I have to do this.
I can't find the bottle we had, but it's the one with all the stuff floating in it. Looks horrible, but you use that in salad dressings as well. I forgot all the health benefits. My lady knows this stuff. She forces me and tries to sneak it in my dressing and stuff. So I just take it by a shot because I'm not a fan of this stuff.
Well, everybody take the Crossroads of America. Take the Crossroads of America challenge and do a shot of malt vinegar. I'm gonna have to go online and look for the mother's vinegar, though.
Yeah. So anyway,
I can tell you more about it later, Squib, if you want or whatever. Like I said, she knows all that stuff. So.
Two Live Moose is apple cider vinegar with the mother. That's what
it is. It's, mother's apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We use this organic apple cider vinegar in something, pasta salad or something.
Yeah. But I tell you, try a shot of malt vinegar. If you
your body is designed to be its own doctor. People might laugh at that in a sense, but if you give it the right materials or right fuel, it runs a lot better. So obviously, we all have wants, needs, weaknesses, and things like that. But you are your number one product, so you should invest in yourself, even if you don't like it.
Yeah. My body's doctor prescribed me some bourbon.
you can't go wrong with that either. But the problem is I used to abuse it, so that's why I don't do it anymore. Oh, all right. Squib, you got any shout outs or plugs?
Anybody out there that's looking to check out a new firearms channel? Well, it's not a new channel, but if you haven't watched it before, check out a channel called Small Caliber Arms Review. It's a guy out of Ohio that does some reviews on different guns. Sometimes they're his, sometimes he borrows them from friends. And in some of his videos, he'll do disassemblies or explain some of the guns in detail in addition to doing range footage. So go on over there and check him out, Small Caliber Arms Review, and you won't be disappointed.
Okay. New York Outcasts, you got any shout outs or plugs?
No, I would just tell everybody thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
All right. Night Strike, got anything?
Yeah, go to store.guntube.org and buy some GunTube swag to help GunTube out. So
there you go. All right. Oh, I know what maybe I'll bring this up next week. But I was watching, let me write this down so I don't forget. I was watching, before I came on, I was watching something on the Travel Channel or something. And it was some conspiracy on going back to the 1970s when, because what made me think of it is because you mentioned Ohio. The town of Boston, Ohio, which the government evacuated everybody from that town because they were going to turn it into a national park. It took them 26 years to turn it into a park, but there's conspiracy that there was something else going there that the government didn't want people to know. I found it. I wanted to talk to anybody who was alive back then. So
sorry, but that reminds me, I do have something. I got some great advice today. I just found hilarious and could be helpful. If for some reason you got to run from the police, just remember you're social distancing.
Oh yeah. That's another thing too. Is those guys when they're protesting and rioting there and looting, they're wearing masks. They're doing what they were told to do.
Yeah, right.
So. All right. I want to say thank you to the audience who came in the chat there on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. I know it's summertime and it's very quiet. Last year I went to a 2 weekly interval. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year during the summer because it is quiet like this. What do you guys think? Or should I still keep it up every week? I'm just going to play it by ear. If my family's got something going on a Saturday, I'll just leave them. I'll just put up a small video saying I ain't having one today. I think that might be the easiest thing to do. So, all right. I want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I'll be back on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. with Shooting with Disabilities. See you all then. So good afternoon, good evening, everybody.
Shall not be infringed.